Take a breath before you listen to this. Pause for a second, because this isn't loud information. This is quiet truth. If you've ever watched a woman you truly wanted smile at you, hold eye contact for just a moment and then walk away towards someone else, someone you know isn't better than you. This conversation is for you. And if you've ever felt that subtle frustration, that invisible competition, that feeling of being one option among many, while knowing deep down that you should have been the only option, stay with me. Slow down your breathing here. Because women don't choose men the way men are taught to believe they do. They don't choose resumes. They don't choose looks alone. They don't even choose confidence the way social media performs it. Or they choose how a man makes them feel, not just emotionally, but inside their body and mind at the same time. Let that settle. When a woman has many options, she's surrounded by noise, messages, compliments, men trying too hard, men pretending not to care, men performing masculinity like it's a role they memorized, and most of them feel exactly the same to her: flat, predictable, replaceable. What makes one man different is not effort, it's presence. Not the loud kind, not the needy kind, the grounded kind, the kind that makes her slightly aware of herself when she's around him, the kind that makes her sit a little straighter, speak a little softer without knowing why. You don't become that man by chasing, you become him by anchoring. A woman with options expects pursuit. She's immune to it. What unsettles her, what pulls her attention inward, is a man who is comfortable not being chosen immediately, because comfort signals value, and value creates curiosity. Notice what's happening in your body right now. The slowing, the grounding. That's the energy. Most men rush to show interest. You don't. Most men explain themselves. You don't. Most men want to be liked. You focus on being felt. There is a moment, and every woman recognizes it, when she realizes a man isn't trying to convince her of anything. He isn't selling, he isn't chasing, he isn't proving, he's simply allowing her to discover him. That moment is dangerous, because discovery is addictive, and here's the part nobody tells you. A woman with many options isn't searching for the best man. She's searching for the man who interrupts her emotional autopilot. She's dated attractive men, she's talked to confident men, she's been close to men who looked perfect on paper. What she hasn't felt enough of is depth without pressure. So when you speak, you don't rush your words. You allow silence to finish your sentences. And when you look at her, really look. You're not asking, do you like me? You're quietly wondering, do I like how you exist? That shift changes everything, because now she feels something unfamiliar. Not judgment, not dominance. Attention, clean and demanding attention, and that is rare. A woman with many options isn't craving control, she isn't craving validation, she's craving a man who is rooted, a man who could walk away and still remain whole, and paradoxically, that's the man she doesn't want to lose. Attraction is never created by force, it's created by balance. Safety whispers, I can relax here. Tension murmurs, I don't fully have him. That combination lingers, it follows her home, it shows up in quiet moments, it returns when she least expects it. And when she finally chooses, it doesn't feel like a decision, it feels like recognition. So this isn't about tricks, this isn't about lines. This is about becoming the man who enjoys his own silence, who listens without fixing, who speaks with intention instead of urgency. When you do that, a woman with many options won't feel like she chose you, she'll feel like she found you. And once that happens, options stop mattering. Now let's go a little deeper. Because once you understand presence, the next layer is polarity. And polarity isn't aggression, it isn't dominance in the loud sense, it's contrast. A woman with many options lives in sameness. Men agree with her, men adapt to her, men mirror her energy so closely they disappear into it. What she rarely experiences is contrast that feels safe. So when you enter her space, you don't match her nervousness, you don't rise when she rises, you stay steady. That steadiness does something subtle. Her nervous system notices it before her mind does. She slows down without realizing why. Her voice drops half a tone. Her gestures become more intentional. That's polarity, and it doesn't come from trying to lead. It comes from being self-contained. You don't need her reaction to regulate you. You don't need her interest to feel grounded. That independence is felt, not heard. This is why trying to impress her works against you. Impressing says, present says, I'm already approved by myself. And here's the part most men miss. A woman doesn't feel desire when she's evaluating you. She feels desire when she's responding to you. So you don't overload her with information. You don't explain your value. You let her nervous system do the math. When she tests you, and she will, distance with delayed replies, with subtle withdrawal, you don't chase. You remain consistent, not cold, not reactive, consistent. That consistency becomes an anchor in her mind. Because men who disappear emotionally create anxiety, and men who chase create overwhelm, but the man who stays steady creates safety and intrigue, and that combination is rare. Now let's talk about attention. Not attention as in compliments, attention as in focus. When you give her attention, it's undiluted. No phone, no wandering eyes, no half listening. But here's the key, you don't give it endlessly, you give it fully, and then you withdraw it naturally when it's time. That rhythm, presence, then space, creates emotional breathing room, and breathing room is where desire grows. A woman with many options is suffocated by men who never leave her psychological space. You don't do that. You let moments end cleanly, you let conversations close without squeezing them for more. That restraint signals confidence, because only a man who trusts his impact can afford to leave without fear. Now listen carefully to this part. Attraction deepens when she starts asking herself questions. Not about you, about herself. Why do I feel calm around him? Why do I think about what he said days later? Why doesn't he need anything from me? Those questions pull her inward, and once a woman turns inward emotionally, she's already halfway there. You never rush intimacy. You allow it to unfold. You let moments linger just long enough, and then you change the subject. You smile her, and then you look away first. These micro withdrawals are not games, they're signals. Signals that you're not grasping, and not grasping is magnetic. Here's something subtle but powerful. When she opens up, share something personal, you don't rush to bond over it, you listen. You hold the space, you don't immediately match vulnerability with vulnerability. That restraint keeps polarity alive. Because emotional depth doesn't require emotional flooding, and over time she begins to feel something unfamiliar. She feels chosen without being claimed, desired without being consumed. Sin without being owned. That balance makes her feel feminine in the deepest sense, relaxed, open, receptive. And when a woman feels that way, options fade into the background. Not because you demanded exclusivity, but because nothing else feels the same. She doesn't choose you out of logic, she chooses you out of alignment, and alignment feels inevitable. So remember this. You don't win a woman with many options by outshining other men. You win her by standing apart from them, by being calmer, slower, more intentional. By being so grounded in yourself that her nervous system recognizes home before her mind catches up. And when that happens, she won't announce her choice. She'll simply start moving toward you again and again until one day she realizes, you she already chose. Now bring your attention even further inward, because what comes next is subtle, and subtlety is power. A woman doesn't fall for words first. She falls for how they're delivered. Your voice matters more than what you say, not volume, not accent, pace. When you speak slowly, not dragged, not forced, but deliberately, her body listens before her mind does. A rushed voice creates pressure, a calm voice creates gravity, and gravity pulls. So you let your words arrive one at a time. You let silence sit at the end of sentences. That silence isn't empty, it's charged. Now eye contact, not staring, not intensity for the sake of intensity, stillness. When you hold eye contact just half a second longer than normal and then look away calmly, something shifts in her chest, because most men either avoid eye contact or cling to it. You do neither. You're comfortable seeing her and comfortable leaving her wanting more. This is masculine stillness. You don't fill space unnecessarily. You don't react to every fluctuation in her mood. If she's excited, you stay grounded. If she's quiet, you don't rush to fix it. That emotional self-regulation becomes a mirror. Her nervous system begins to sync with yours. And synchronization builds trust faster than words ever could. Now understand this, a woman with many options is rarely fully present. Her attention is split, her phone is buzzing, her mind is comparing. But when she's with you, those comparisons soften, because you don't compete for attention, you command it quietly. Not by demand, by depth. You ask fewer questions, but better ones. You listen past the surface of her answers. You respond to what she means, not just what she says. That makes her feel understood without being analyzed. And here's where desire deepens. When she feels emotionally safe, but not emotionally certain. Safety without certainty creates longing. Because certainty kills curiosity. You don't over-define the connection. You let it breathe. You don't label too early. You don't chase clarity. You allow ambiguity to exist comfortably. And comfort inside ambiguity is rare. When she pulls back slightly, you don't pursue harder. You remain warm, but not closer. That tells her something powerful. You're not afraid of space. And only a man with inner fullness can be unafraid of space. Over time, she begins to associate you with calm desire, not urgency, not pressure, not confusion, calm desire. That's the kind that lasts. That's the kind she doesn't feel with men who try too hard. And then something interesting happens. She starts sharing more, not because you asked, but because she wants to be seen by you. She opens emotional doors slowly. You don't rush through them. You pause at the threshold. That restraint deepens trust because it shows respect and confidence when you touch, if and when you do. It's brief, intentional, grounded, a hand on the lower back guiding her forward, a moment of stillness before pulling away, touch that doesn't linger, lingers longer in her mind. And remember, you never try to take her choice away. You let her choose herself into you. That's what makes it powerful, because when a woman feels like she chose freely, without pressure, without persuasion, that choice becomes part of her identity, and people defend their identity fiercely. So she stops comparing, stops scanning rooms, stops entertaining options, not because you demanded loyalty, but because her nervous system already settled. And once it settles, it doesn't want to leave. This is how a woman with many options chooses you, not loudly, not suddenly, but quietly, repeatedly, until one day she realizes she's already standing next to you without remembering when she decided to be there. Now we move into something most men misunderstand, and because they misunderstand it, they lose women who are already leaning toward them. It's direction, not control, not dominance in the harsh sense. Direction. A woman with many options is constantly deciding where to go, who to reply to, what energy to manage. Decision fatigue lives quietly inside her. What she relaxes into is a man who knows where he's going emotionally. You don't ask endlessly, what do you want to do? You suggest softly, calmly, without attachment. Let's go there. We'll leave after one drink. We'll talk about that later. Notice the tone, not demanding, not tentative, certain. Certainty without force is deeply attractive because it lets her exhale. She doesn't feel managed. She feels guided. And here's where emotional leadership comes in. When something feels uncertain between you, you don't avoid it and you don't dramatize it, you acknowledge it, and then you steady the space. That steadiness tells her, I can handle emotional complexity without collapsing. That's rare. Men often think emotional leadership means expressing everything towards. It doesn't. It means regulating the emotional climate. If she's anxious, you don't absorb it. If she's distant, you don't chase it. If she's warm, you receive it without clinging. You remain centered. And center is magnetic. Over time. She begins to feel something important. She feels safe bringing her emotions to you because you don't drown in them and you don't dismiss them. You hold them calmly. Now let's talk about the future, not planning it, but implying it. You never rush promises. You never make grand declarations, but you speak in a way that assumes continuity. And next time we're here, when we do that again, you'd like this place. Those small phrases plant seeds, not pressure, possibility. And possibility feels exciting when it's not forced. A woman with many options is wary of men who rush the future and bored by men who avoid it completely. You sit right in the middle, open but unhurried. And because you're not chasing commitment, commitment feels like her idea. That's the key. You let her emotional body arrive before her rational mind does, because once the emotional body decides, the mind follows to justify it. Now here's something subtle but crucial. You don't try to be unforgettable. You focus on being consistent. Consistency creates trust. Trust allows desire to deepen. Unpredictability creates excitement, but stability creates attachment. You balance both. You show up as the same man, calm, present, self-respecting, whether she's warm or distant. That reliability does something powerful. It tells her your interest isn't fragile, and fragile interest is unattractive. So she relaxes further. She leans more. She invests emotionally without announcing it. And once a woman invests emotionally, even subtly, she begins to protect that investment. She stops entertaining distractions. She compares others to you, not you to others. That's when the shift happens. Not a dramatic moment, not a confession, just a quiet realignment. Her time starts orienting toward you. Her energy follows. Because the man who provides emotional direction without pressure becomes the axis. And once you become the axis, everything else feels off-center. Now we arrive at the final layer, the one that quietly seals everything without force. It's intimacy without exposure. Most men think intimacy means revealing everything, every wound, every fear, every story. But mystery isn't distance. Mystery is selective depth. You let her know you without letting her consume you. You share truth, but not your entire interior. You speak from experience, but you don't emotionally lean on her. That balance keeps desire alive, because a woman doesn't want to carry you. She wants to rest in you. So you open doors, but not all at once. You let her earn deeper layers through consistency, through presency, through time. And when she reaches them, they feel meaningful, not dumped, not rushed. And here's something quiet and powerful. You don't try to be her everything. You remain a full man with a full life. She doesn't enter your world as the center. She enters it as a valued part. That distinction matters because desire dies when a man disappears into a woman, but it deepens when he stays whole. And over time, she notices something. She notices she feels calmer around you. More herself, less performative. She notices she doesn't have to impress you or compete for your attention. She notices that being chosen by you feels different than being wanted by others. That's when her options quietly lose their shine. Not because they vanished, but because they lack depth. They feel loud, you feel grounded. They feel rushed, you feel steady. They want something from her, you simply see her, and that's the final truth. A woman with many options doesn't choose the man who wants her most. She chooses the man who knows himself, respects himself, and doesn't abandon himself to be chosen, because that man feels safe and exciting and rare. So if you take nothing else from this, remember this. You don't attract her by proving your value, you attract her by embodying it. You don't pull her toward you by force, you allow her to move freely, and she chooses you because it feels right in her body. And when a woman chooses you from that place, it's not fragile, it's grounded, it lasts. Now, if this resonated with you, if you felt yourself slowing down, grounding, recognizing parts of yourself you've ignored, this is your invitation. Don't rush back into noise, don't perform this overnight. Practice presence, practice restraint. Practice becoming the man who doesn't chase you, but also doesn't hide. And if you want to go deeper into this work, into attraction rooted in psychology, self-mastery, and emotional intelligence, stay connected like this. Share it with a man who needs it. Subscribe if this is where you want to keep growing, because this isn't about women, it's about becoming a man who no longer needs to be chosen and somehow ends up being chosen anyway. That's where real power lives.